Have you ever wondered about the real meaning of fasting? Fasting is a practice that has been done throughout history for various reasons, including religious, spiritual, health, and even as part of certain cultural traditions. At its core, fasting is the temporary and intentional abstention from any physical pleasure. Most commonly, fasting involves refraining from eating for a period, but it goes beyond that. Besides food, fasting can also include abstaining from everyday activities like watching TV, using the internet, or even refraining from sexual activity. In other words, it's a spiritual journey aimed at purifying the body and soul for the purpose of a deeper spiritual connection. How can this strengthen not only the body but also the spirit? Why does fasting please God? While the body is cleansed, the spirit is also strengthened. Going without food makes us focus on something beyond immediate material needs. This restraint creates a discipline that goes beyond the physical, making room for spiritual introspection. The focus shifts from the body to the soul, allowing a deeper connection with the divine. Scriptures provide profound insights on fasting. Joel 2:12 says, "Yet even now, return to me with all your heart, with fasting and weeping and mourning, declares the Lord." In 1 Corinthians 7:5, Apostle Paul gives specific guidance on marital life, mentioning temporarily abstaining from intimate relations within marriage to devote oneself to prayer. Zechariah 7:5-6 offers a unique perspective on the purpose of fasting, suggesting that it's not just about abstaining from food, but involves the internal motivation and spiritual purpose behind the practice. The emphasis is on the sincerity of the fasting person's heart, highlighting that the purpose should not be selfish or ritualistic, but centered on God. In Matthew 9:15, Jesus refers to fasting when questioned about why his disciples don't fast, like John the Baptist's disciples and the Pharisees. He responds, "Can the wedding guests mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them? The days will come when the bridegroom is taken away from them, and then they will fast." This analogy with a wedding feast is a metaphor carrying a profound spiritual message. It suggests that fasting shouldn't be a ritualistic practice, as mentioned in Zechariah, but a genuine expression of spiritual seeking, repentance, and closeness to God. Fasting is a way to seek deeper communion. It requires giving up material desires to invoke the spiritual. Saying no to oneself during fasting allows hearing God's yes in times of need or crisis. Finally, in Matthew 6:16, Jesus says, "When you fast, do not look gloomy like the hypocrites, for they disfigure their faces that their fasting may be seen by others. Truly I say to you, they have received their reward. But when you fast, anoint your head and wash your face, that your fasting may not be seen by others, but by your Father who is in secret. And your Father who sees in secret will reward you." In this verse, he demonstrates that fasting should be a connection between God and you, not an act of showmanship. When Jesus cast out the demon from a child, his disciples asked him how he managed to do that, as they had tried before and failed. Jesus replied, "Howbeit this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting." Matthew 17:21. Fasting isn't just about abstaining. It's also about connecting with God through prayer. Prayer plays a crucial role during fasting. In fasting, we acknowledge God's unwavering love and seek divine guidance. Fasting is also a time to praise and worship God's wisdom and knowledge. If you're not eating and not praying, seeking God, it's not fasting. It's just a diet. Fasting is letting go of everything and putting God above all else. Imagine a lumberjack sharpening his axe. How does this story relate to the process of spiritual refinement through fasting? Just as a sharp axe is effective, fasting sharpens our spirituality. Fasting is not just an option. It's a requirement for a life that pleases God. Let's interact. Join in the comments by answering the question of the day. Today, we want to know, what are your favorite worship songs when fasting? You might be wondering, should I fast? The answer is simple. How close to God do you want to be? Fasting is the most effective way to draw near to Him, as Jesus Himself and the Bible tell us. Should you fast? Jesus fasted. Isn't He our role model? In essence, fasting goes beyond a physical practice. It's a spiritual journey that lifts our spirits to communicate with God, strengthening our connection with the divine. Sometimes we wonder why God doesn't speak to us. But have you considered that He might be waiting for us to speak to Him? Are you ready to talk to Him? If you haven't tried fasting yet, consider incorporating it into your spiritual journey. Always remember to consult a doctor to ensure you are fit for such a practice. Share in the comments how fasting has positively impacted your spiritual life. One important thing, if you are fasting, temptations will come. Satan knows you are seeking God, and he will try to stop you. No matter what happens, keep fasting. Remember, Christ faced his greatest temptation while fasting for 40 days. The enemy doesn't want you to find God. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Share your experiences in the comments. Together, let's explore the depths of ancient knowledge. And always remember, He rewards those who diligently seek Him. Hebrews 11:6.